You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Welcome to I Am Refocused Radio. Once again, we are here today, and we have another amazing show lined for y'all today. Today, we have a true honor talking to our special guest, Paul Tembunde. He is a business executive. He is also a transformational expert, coach, and mentor. He has an amazing website, PremiereDestiny.com. We're going to learn everything about what he does with his business and also with his clients. But most importantly, we're going to know about his story. So if you're watching us online, you can see his information on the bottom of the screen. But if you're listening to us on radio, we'll have all this all the stuff you need in the show notes. So first and foremost, when it comes to succeeding in life, it takes guts, it takes grit, and it takes unshakable belief in yourself. Today's guest, he's someone that knows that firsthand. Paul is a seasoned business executive, mindset coach, like I said earlier, but he has over 2 decades of entrepreneurial experience, from buying a home care franchise with a credit card to leading a thriving company that has impacted thousands. His story is not just a masterclass of perseverance and purpose, and the power of mindset. It is something that is going to help you right here, right now. First and foremost, I want to say to you, thank you for your time, man. How you doing?
Fantastic, man. Thank you so much. Again, it's an honor to be on your show, and I'm delighted to be here. Thanks for inviting me over, and just want to spend some time with you and your audience here. Thank you so much.
Well, I appreciate you being here and clearing your calendar. Let's go back to 2002. What was going on in your mind when you and your wife took a leap of faith and you bought a franchise with little experience?
Well, I tell you, Brushmai, a lot was going through my mind. I can tell you one thing. We were having a lot of month at the end of the money. That's a big part of it. You know, my wife and I were high school sweethearts, by the way. We got separated at a high school. She went to England and I came here, so to the United States. I just felt like there was something about the United States, something that if I came here, I could do so much. I just, I didn't know what I wanted, but I just felt, it was going to be good for me. So I came here, went to college, and after college, in the course of going through college, I was doing little jobs, security guard, just doing stuff like that. And graduate college, I graduated pretty well, cum laude, and I thought about graduate school for a little bit. I said, what am I going to do? I was at a crossroads. And I saw some friends that had graduated and gone to graduate school, and they were still doing little jobs. I said, well, if I got to go through all of that and just work this kind of a job, to me, it was not worth it. That was just me. And so I got into an Amway. I started to try to test my entrepreneurial skills, man. So I got into Amway, this kind of dating me a little bit, hey, it is what it is, right? It is my story in it. So you want my story, so I will tell you. So I got into Amway. Some family member told me I could make some money that way, selling soap and whatnot. So I got in there. Did not make much money at all because I mostly bought stuff for myself, and the other stuff I gave it to other people. So I didn't make much money. But I learned personal development. I learned how to read books, man. I mean, I learned some books. They told you could be what you wanted to be if you're willing to work for it, and that got me on my journey. They told me that, I could be anything. I could, if I just would just put in the work, learn, I could make it. So with that in mind, I had my wife come over. She had just finished her master's degree in England. So she came over so we could start our family. And when she came over, we're doing little jobs. I was doing leasing consultant. She was a certified nursing assistant. At one time, she was a cashier at a jewelry store. We were struggling, man. We did not have this thing figured out. Remember, we're immigrants, right? So we're trying to find our way. No rich uncles or aunts anywhere, So we were just struggling to find our way. And in fact, one time we had this 1-bedroom apartment that we rented, and I had to, when I got my check, I had to wait for my wife's check to come so I could pay the rent. I mean, it was tight. So packing all the sandwiches that you don't want to pack all the time to work, it was not easy, man. But we persisted. So along the way, the IT, boom came on where folks were doing different things in IT at that time. And my wife became a database administrator. I became a Microsoft certified systems engineer. And so, boy, we thought we were in the big time now. We were really making it. I mean, we could get one check, it would pay the mortgage. So it was a good time, right? And we started our family. And then, like I said, a few years, fast forward a few years, we found out that all this money we thought we were making, was really not was not going was not it was not going to be able to help us really do things we wanted to do. Send the kids to school, the schools we wanted, would love them to go on the kind of vacation we would want to go on. We couldn't really do that. The money was tight. No, money was tight. We still drove second-hand cars, things of that nature. But we're fortunate because we had bought our townhouse, and which I think was the biggest investment for us at that time. And so we started looking around. What could we do? We got all these degrees, got all these jobs, we thought we'd arrive, but we had not arrived, right? Because the numbers showed it. We didn't, wouldn't do it. So we got thinking, and my wife said, well, you know what? We thought, we need to start our own business. I think that's what we need to do. And my wife had just done nursing, like I told you. She's been nursing assistant, taking care of all these seniors, right? So she said, well, you know what? I think that's a good thing. Why don't we check it out? I said, well, honey, hey, let's go for it. So she did some research. We both did some research on it, but she was out checking it out a lot more because she had already done it, right? But we remember we hadn't owned nothing. We had not run a business before. We knew no uncles who had done it, no friends who had done it. We did not know anyone, right? But we had a dream, man. We just wanted to be in control some kind of way. We were sick and tired of being sick and tired, man. Living with, money run out, you still got a whole lot of the month left. We were just sick and tired, man. Working long hours, overtime, still struggling at the end of the day. So we were like, well, let's do something. So we finally landed on this franchisor that we were going to work with, and we had no money. Now, I told you we had a townhouse, right? But we did not know anything, Brother Shemaiah, about home equity loan. We did not know that. That's how ignorant we were, okay? And, ignorance is not a bad word, It's not. It just means you just don't know because you can't know everything, right? So we did not know that, man. We had a townhouse we had for a few years, but we did not know we had any equity in there. As a matter of fact, I don't think we had any. To come to think of it, because we had just bought it. So, so we went to the bank. We had a credit card. I think we had one credit card between the both of us. And so we went to the bank and then asked for a line of credit. Because remember, we're seeing this franchise, homecare agents want to be a part of it, want to buy our franchise. So we went over there and got a loan on our credit card. I think the maximum was like $13,000 or something. I think that's what we took. Pretty close. A little over $12,000. We took that. And then we invested in this, home care franchise at that time, and said, well, let's go to work. Let's see how this works. And the good thing is we had mentors doing that. We had folks that trained us in the process, right? What you do, what you don't do. Because like I told you, we had not owned a business before. Had done Amway, but that wasn't no business. That was So we had to register it, get licensing, but we're guided into the process. So we went to work. I lost my job a few months after that. And once we started our business, so I was, and my wife was still working. So I stayed home taking care of the little, we had 2 kids at that time. So I took care of the, 2 kids, and then, and my wife went to work. It was interesting because we ran the business from the basement of our home, our townhouse. Remember what I told you about? Listen, we couldn't afford an office. Okay. We rented, what we did was, we had an address of a building, mailbox type address thing. So that's what we got. And so we needed to meet a client over there or something. We'll go rent a conference room. That's all we could afford. We ran everything from the basement of my house. Matter of fact, I used to carry 2 phones, one for the clients and one for the employees, the caregivers. So that, like I said, I'm dating myself here, but it was, cordless phones and whatnot. That way, when the client called, I know which one to grab. The caregiver called, I know which one to grab, right? That's what we did. So it was hard, man. It was hard, but we were on a dream, man. We were like, man, we're gonna make this thing work. If they told us all this stuff told us it was gonna work, we were willing to give it a chance to make it work. And like I said, we had no office. We would meet potential employees at the library. That was our second office. Okay, because the library they could fill an application there. We'll get the ID, Social Security card to make copies. So it was our second office. Well, that's what we did. And then come payday, I'd be out delivering checks at a McDonald's or something. That's what we did. So we just did what we had to do because we figured that if it was going to happen, it was going to be up to us, right? And we did that. So we did that, and the business started to pick up. We started having more clients, to more employees. We could eventually rent some office space, had a little office at that point, and my wife, thank God she quit her job, to take on more responsibility in our business. And we just kept growing it, and I think 3 years later, we bought another office and then another one and then another one. And that's how we grew it. Now, I would say about 10, 12 years into our business, I started to think again, I said, man, I know we've done this and I'm grateful to God for it. I said, but, I'm kind of bored, because I like to kind of change up things, so I got bored. I was like, like I said, I appreciate what we had done. Business is going well, and we're growing, but I just felt like I could do more, could do more. And so being a person of faith, Rashmi, I went to the Lord. I said, God, this is my challenge. Guide me, show me the way. Guide me, show me, because you're the only one to come to. So I did that, and God led me to, and I did some thinking, some meditation and whatnot. Spent some time just trying to, connect with the Almighty to get a download, from Him. And eventually, I was led to a gentleman who became my mentor. Okay. One time because I like to get out and walk in the morning. So I was out walking, listening to some audio messages on there on YouTube. And he came on. And he said that a lot of folks don't succeed in life because they don't know what they want. They're ignorant. They don't know what they want. He said, ignorance is not a bad thing. It just means you just don't know. A lot of stuff, he said a lot of stuff he doesn't know. He's ignorant of. But what cures ignorance? Knowledge. When you're ignorant of something, you get some knowledge, then you become what? Then you're not deficient in that part anymore. And so he said, what cures ignorance is knowledge. A lot of folks need to know what potential they have in themselves. And Rashmi, I tell you, that got me thinking, man. I said, man, you know what? I think he's right. I don't know what I want. I don't know who I am. I don't know the potential in me. And I think, Rashmi, that's the challenge for a lot of us. I don't say problem. That's the challenge for a lot of us. We don't know what we really want. We're so busy trying to make a living, we don't really know if it's really for us or not. And I think that was a challenge for me. So I decided to get into, signed up for his coaching, unbeknownst to my wife. My wife did not know this now. I signed up for his coaching, and and I started to learn, man. I would get up early in the morning to listen to this man talk to me. He talked to a bunch of people. I was a part of it, and so I learned. I kept learning. He told us, listen, the biggest work you need to do is within yourself. You need to get to know who you are. What do you like? What do you love to do? What difference can you make? So I started to search my soul, got to know myself better. And I realized that I was called to serve. Not in the ministry now, bear in mind, not in the ministry, but serve, to help folks realize that they have potential in themselves that they have not realized, and that they can bring it out. And so that our business took off from this knowledge. We learned a bunch of things. I learned that my philosophy, what I believed in, was extremely important. How am I looking at life? Am I looking at life as a life of possibilities or challenges all the time? Because when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Yeah.
All of us got 24 hours, Bershman. But how come Jeff Bezos can make so much money within 24 hours and I can't? Hey, you know what I'm saying? So What's that, Brush by?
So he knows something.
There you go. He knows something I don't know. That's right. He probably doing something I don't do. I don't know either, right? So I mean, so that got me thinking. It got me thinking that I had to change the way I look. Just the way I look at it, I had to get a change. I got to change my thinking. I guess I look at things. How can I be a part of it? Yes, we all face challenges. We're gonna face challenges. Hey, if it didn't stop A, why is it gonna stop Maybe Mr. A is approaching it from a different perspective than I am. Because like I told you, we didn't have the money. We had a house, we didn't even know we had the equity in the house. We went and took a loan to bank. I mean, how ignorant can you get? You see what I'm saying? But we were determined to succeed, man. We didn't care what it was, man. If we couldn't get over it, we're gonna get around it or through it, man, some kind of way. And I think that that's something that we need to just get the message out a lot more so that we don't fall in this trap of thinking like we cannot overcome stuff. Because, I mean, we can do a lot more. Every one of us can do a lot more. Joan and I believe that there's greatness in every one of us. In fact, what we do at our company, Premiere Destiny, the coaching company that we've set up now, is that we enlighten people so they know who they are. We empower them and we inspire them to bring out the greatness that we think is in them. Because we believe everybody's got greatness. So that they can then go out there and live an abundant and fulfilled life and make a difference. Because at the end of the day, Brushmai, it's about making a difference. It's about making a difference. When you can touch somebody's life in a positive way, make them realize that there's greatness in them, they can do more, and they get out there and do more, hey, I think you've earned your reward, whatever it is. So I'll let you, I don't want to keep talking to you, but I'll let you ask your question if you have any.
Once again, you listen to Refocused Radio, watching this online, talking to our guest today, Paul Tembunde. Go to his website, premieredestiny.com, and just to follow up on everything you've been saying. From all the chapters that you've been through with your wife on the business journey, I mean, that's an awesome story, how you illustrated how you started from ground zero. And as you were building, you had to do some things. You had to make adjustments when it was time for you to leave your job and do daddy duties at home. And she was out there grinding. I'm sure there were moments that you both had like, wow, do we really want to do this? Do we really want to continue? I think that's an important part of the story. Not to go back too far, but just for our viewers and our audience, really touch on some of the points where you might have thought, wow, do I really want to do this? Because it's getting really crazy right now and I don't really see the results right now. But how did you keep yourself motivated, you both, to keep pushing? Because where you're at now compared to where you started, a lot of people give up.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. You're right. You're so right. I mean, like I said, it was tough. Beginning was tough, man. I mean, it took us a while to get the first client. I thought it wasn't going to work. I mean, that was just me. I mean, I was just like, man, because I did not see how it would add up. That's just me, But God had, had put the word in my wife. God had given my wife the dream to lead us along the way. Okay, and I believe so much in when God gives you a mission, He gives you the provision. Right. So, and we kept going. It was not easy. Like I said, we had to, we had to endure some challenges along the way. We had no office, like I talked about. We had no staff. I mean, I was the HR person, the office manager, the bookkeeper, the payroll person. I mean, the driver. I mean, come on, man. I did everything. Okay. But I knew that if I just kept doing it, if I kept the faith, eventually it would work out for us. Because, the journey of faith, I believe, is two ways. You can't stay home and faith just solve all your problems, right? You have to go out there in faith and do your part. And I think, like I said, I think that's what happened for us. It was challenging, like I said. I mean, a lot of times, Brashmaya, we would pay people, our employees, we couldn't cash our checks, man. And that's something. You pay everybody else, and you can't cash your check. And you don't tell nobody you can't cash your check. Because I mean, if you did, they wouldn't come back to work for you, right? So that's what we did. We would, and then eventually I probably cash my check and then hold my wife's check for a little bit. The more money come in, then we'll cash her check. I mean, we just did what we had to do, man. We had to, I think it's those times that we found the strength in what we were doing. Because you gotta sow, man. You gotta sow into the kingdom, right? You gotta sow into what you're doing, right? And then eventually, you're gonna reap, and that's what we believe that. It was like I said, it was challenges, but we figure, hey, if John could do it, if Peter could do it, we met all these folks that because we used to have meetings, once a year, where everybody who owned, franchise would show up for that. And annual meetings and whatnot, and then we'll all meet and talk, and they would tell us what's going on. And I saw these people, man, making it, man. They would be successful. I say, hey, and I got around there. I say, hey, if they can do it, hey, why not me?
Yeah.
I just kept working it. I learned and I kept going. Like I said, we and eventually over the years, it just got better and better and better. And now it's not a challenge,
I want to jump in on that point because I think we had to emphasize that point because a lot of times we feel like, okay, when is it going to get better? We always worry about how we're going to get to that destination. And I feel like a lot of times what happens is we are looking at the idea and how it makes us happy, thinking about, wow, I will be so much in a better headspace if I'm actually doing this, if I actually pay myself for a change, if I actually have a profit, if I can actually do all these X, Y, Zs. But the lack of experience is what's preventing us to unlock that opportunity of our potential.
Amen. 100%.
Touch on that because when it comes to the long game, someone watching us or listening to us, they're probably like, man, all that sounds great, but here's the reality I faced when I started listening to this podcast episode. I'm going to have some bills. I'm going to have this and this. I'm going to have some real life situations. So let's cut the fat a little bit and say, what were some of the key things that you and your wife did that started to turn things around for you in your business? Because we can listen to any book, any podcast or read any book.
Yes.
But until we have actual experience, we won't really know the difference.
100%. No, you're right. You're right, Brashma. You're right. 100%. You're right. We had a desire, man. We had a desire. We were willing to do anything. Because we had seen, as Dr. King said, seen the promised land, right? We had seen other folks who had been involved in this be successful at it. So that gave us hope. And when you have hope, man, you can go a couple of days without eating, man, because you got hope, man. It can fuel you. It can give you that energy to keep going. We had seen it. We met some folks. Rob showed us some people that had done it. So, well, hey, listen, if it's a matter of time, and we'll try to find out what they do, the long game, as you said, and we came and implemented the long game, like they say, the only success is a process. I believe strongly that anything that happens quickly can go by quickly too. I believe that 100%. Anything that takes some time, that you have to learn, you have to change, you have to adapt, you have to persevere, you got to sacrifice, it's worth a lot more. Matter of fact, my wife and I believe in the whole principle of be, do, have. You got to be before you can do. You got to do it before you can have. If you want to just get it without doing it, then, it's not going to be. Now we're mixing the program now, these are principles, right? This principles that work. So we just followed some other people. And then what we did also, as I told you earlier, when I lost my job, my wife stayed working. Right? She stayed working so at least she could, while we weren't making any money in the business, she was bringing in some revenue, and we just cut our expenses off. Right? We just cut our expenses because we knew we only had one income at this point. We had to invest everything in the business. So we like I say, it wasn't easy. We didn't, we were, man, we shopped in certain grocery stores that would not want to shop there today. It was rough. It was not easy, man. We drank some sodas that I did not like to drink. We shopped in certain places. My wife bought clothes and stuff where I know. We shopped in the other side of town. Okay, I'm talking about the struggling side of town, right? But we did what we had to do. Because when you have a dream, when you're going after something that's bigger than you, and you believe that God has called you to do this, you're going to make some sacrifice. And that's what it's going to take. Sometimes we had to pick up part-time job to keep the business going. We just kept feeding the business and doing the work, sowing into the kingdom until got to a point where we did not need to do that anymore. Because I tell you what, for me, it was more of a thing. I said, you know what? If I'm going to do anything, man, let me invest in myself. Let me bet on myself. And that's what I encourage your listeners to do. Let's learn to bet on ourselves, man. Go all in. Halfway ain't going to cut it. Three-quarter way is not going to make it. Because when you have a back door, I believe that's gonna make you not put in all your effort to something that might potentially be what you're looking after, you're going for. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing. We believed in it. We had seen other folks succeed at it, and we knew that was just a matter of time. We just had to put in the work, man. Put in. And now we're able to reap the reward of that. And we employ about 400 people right now. We've served thousands of clients over the years. You know what I'm saying? It's because we're persistent. We stayed the course. Like I said, challenges came, man. Hey, we could not take vacations like everybody else. All right, we had to work on holidays sometimes. Matter of fact, we had like on holidays, some of our nurses would not want to show up for work, and we had this gentleman, Rashmai. This gentleman was it's a big man. Okay, he was about, I would say, close to 400, 500 pounds, something like that, and he could not get out of bed without a Hoyer lift. Okay, you know what Hoyer lift is, don't you? Yeah. So we had to take him out of bed with a Hoyer lift. Okay. Put him down, this wheelchair. And then, so if we didn't come, he could not get out of bed. We had to do a bowel movement for him. I think it was once or twice a week. The nurse went out, to help him, go to the bathroom and stuff like that, because he was a big man. And, so on those holidays that the nurse could not go, guess who went? My wife and I went. We did the work, man. On holidays, we did what we had to do, and then it was so touching to us because when we stayed with this gentleman, helped him out before we could leave, he said, "Let's pray." And he thanked God for sending us to come to him on a holiday, because if we didn't come, he wouldn't have had help. He probably had to call the fire department or something. So that's what we're talking about. You sacrifice, but you make a difference. And I think what we do is about making a difference. What you do, Brashma, is about making a difference. You speaking, you giving, you have this podcast here as your window, your voice, man, to spread the word, to inspire people. Bring some of us, come out and talk. You've talked to so many people all the time, to help people see that there's possibilities. Because, at the end of the day, we want to realize that the possibilities out there for every one of us. I can't be as good a podcaster as you are. There's some other things that may be good for me. But, you do what you do, I do what I do. But if we don't get a chance to find out what those gifts are, then we end up dying with the music in us. And to me, I think that's the worst thing right there. If you die without knowing what your gifts are, you don't even get to bring it out and serve people. In the process, get paid for it or whatever. And I think to me, that's the biggest tragedy right there. Find out what you want, what you were called to do, called to serve, and get out there and do it.
I want to push on what you said earlier, stay the course, because a lot of times people, they get caught up in how much time do I have left? Because when you spend so much time and years wasteful and you blew those moments, a lot of times that discourages people and they're like, well, man, how much time do I really have left? And I want to touch on something because there's paraphrase a legendary story, but there's a story that someone said that I heard many times from other people, but it's like what God does sometimes is if we're not careful, we don't open our gifts while we're alive. What happens to those gifts that we never open? We won't ever know. But He will show you one day, a room of all your unopened gifts and be like, hey,
100%.
you had the
100%.
time, but what did you do?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
We lose our opportunities, and I call them window of opportunities, because part of bettering ourselves, part of education, part of applying knowledge, we must get outside of our comfort zone.
100%.
The longer you stay there, it's like someone who sits on the sidewalk and they watch everyone progress in life and do all these great things, but they never got up off the sidewalk to actually do what they needed to do. You talk about how your business had to grow, but you talk about some of the minor setbacks. Those were sacrifices that were necessary. You talk about your employee in that story. Every piece of those stories makes your business. It makes you. And if you look at the whole masterpiece of who we are, what we're doing, it's those setbacks. But are we going to be the person that stays on the sidewalk sitting down wishing life would get better? If I would have done that at the barbershop, we'd still be in the barbershop in 2017.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. And Brashma, you're right. I mean, like I said, I mean, for me, I look at challenges in life as a toll you pay on a toll gate.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we all got them. Everybody's got challenges. Everybody's on their own journey. Isn't that right, Brashma? Everybody's on their journey.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that we just got to realize that and just go about our journey the best we can. Surround ourselves with mentors, people that can motivate, inspire us to go for our greatest good. Because there's always going to be people trying to drag you down. What is it? Misery loves company, right? Okay. There's always going to have people try to drag you down, but look for the higher good. I'm all about the business of looking for the higher good, man. I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm on my way, working on it every day, as hard as I can. But I'm more for progress rather than perfection.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking for perfection, but I'm all, hey, listen, I'm putting a step, and I think we should be all, because see, you talked about us trying to, or people trying to being disappointed, or, they're not getting there. I mean, they got to give up this and give up. I think it comes down to awareness, though. I think it comes to awareness. If you know who you are, you know what you're about, you know what you want, and you know you're going to pay a toll to get there, hey, be about the business paying that toll and just get there. I mean, what you want to succeed in 20 years? If you could do it in 5 and then enjoy 15, I want to do, what I'm saying? That's my approach to life, and I believe also that as long as you're willing to learn, what is it? The biggest learners are the biggest earners, you got to learn to earn, man. I mean, and part of that learning involves some challenges, disappointments, stuff not working out. That is a learning process. But I believe the more you learn, the more you're willing to learn, the more you learn, the more you earn. Because as you said it, I mean, you can't lose weight by having somebody do your push-ups for you. I mean, it ain't happening yet.
That's
you know what I'm saying? That's you got to get in the arena of life.
Yeah.
You can't be on the sidelines, man. I mean, too many people on there.
Yeah, no one's going to run it for you.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, we have to, like I said, I think the biggest thing, like I said, is awareness. I mean, and I know that, one of the biggest things we tell our clients, what we do is that, like I said, when we got into the way we got from our home care to meeting my mentor who got me involved in this mindset thing and all of that, which just changed for us, changed the game in our business, in our personal lives. I mean, the folks we've served with, we've coached and worked with, it's changed their lives too. I mean, because of the mindset, I mean, to me, I think that to me personally, the way what I've learned now so far, I think to me that's the biggest loss. We don't use our mind. The power of our mind, brother. The power of our mind is so huge, man. I mean, it impacts everything, man. Everything we do, man. I mean, the way you think just changes everything. I mean, it just gives you a different perspective on life. And I think once you have that, you have the awareness, you can be who you want and what do you want to do. Because there's always space for, and then get yourself around the right people. Like podcasts like yours, other folks who have gone before us. I mean, look at Oprah today. Huh? You think she didn't go through challenges? She didn't quit. That's why we'll call her Oprah, right? That's why we look up to her. Tyler Perry. I mean, you've probably heard his story. Okay. They pay their tolls. Look at where they're at today. I think how about any one of us. But our message at our coaching company is that there's greatness in every one of us. It's in every one of us. We can't worry about what we don't have. How about what we have? Because sometimes you think, we may think, well, I don't have this, I'm this, that, but you look at somebody else, man, they're looking up to you. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're like, man, I wish I had your position, whatever. So, I mean, for me, it's more, what can I do? What difference can I make? And Joan and I, my wife and I, we just want, that's our message out there, just let all of us know that, we have so much more potential in us. There's so much in us, and we want to help folks and shine that light on people, just like my mentor did for me. And that there was this possibility out there. Matter of fact, because of what he did, my wife was able to, when she got on board with me, this is her book. Maybe Rashma, you're gonna have her on someday. When she's this is her book. It's an international bestseller. It's on Amazon, And again, one of the gifts I'm going to have for you is I'll give you a link. It's a different link, website, whatever, and your viewers can get a ebook version of that free. Okay, they get it free. Yeah, when we get done here, I'll give you that. It's possible for any one of us. If Joan could write this book, inspired by God, really, what can we do? What can we do? I'm going to write mine. It's not going to be this year. I'm working on it for next year, but it's just a potential, Brushman. The potential is a big thing, because like I said, when my mind changed based on the ideas that I was exposed to by my mentor, I started looking at life differently. I got to read different books, and it just changed everything for me. It really, really did.
That's the key, what you just said, when your mind changed. And also, I'll add to that, after your mind changed, when you do something different that you didn't do before, because until you actually pull the trigger, until you're the one that says stepping up, until you actually do it. You can't have so-and-so do it for you and say, hey, you're a good stepper. Go ahead and step up for me. That's not how it works. If that was the case, we would have no need to have a business. Everyone
exactly.
So real fast. People go to
and let me just add to that real quick. You know what a big shot is? The big shot is a little shot who kept on shooting.
Yeah.
Okay? A big shot is a little shot who kept on shooting. So I'm just adding to your point there. We have to get out there. Nobody's going to do your push-ups for you. I mean, it's not going to happen, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we all have to do what we need to do it's going to involve some sacrifices. Yes, it will, but we can do it. We have the potential to do it. I think it's a matter of just getting in our mind, getting around the right people, listening to podcasts like yourself, and just, being hungry about making a difference, changing our lives, because we have that potential. Heck, we live in the greatest country on the face of the earth, America. Come on now.
No excuse.
We can do it.
So once again, you're watching us online or listening to us on radio, I'm Refocused Radio, talking to our guest today, Paul Tembunde. Go to his website, premieredestiny.com. And if you pay attention to what he said in the show, if you're really about that life and you're about to take that chance and you take that action and you're really serious right now, take that free ebook offer that he blessed us with. I appreciate that. That's a great gift for our audience. Please check that out. And also, most importantly, share this episode with someone and go to his website, premieredestiny.com. Learn about all the resources that he has. And if you want to connect with him, I'm sure it's real simple. If someone wants to email you, what's the best way they can contact you if they feel like they can use your services?
Rashmai, it's a couple ways. The Premiere Destiny is one of them. And then the other website I'm going to give you is askjoanandpaul.com. All one word, right? Askjoanandpaul.com. If they get on there, I mean, they can ask any question they want. That is on that website. On that website, they can also get that book. They can download enter the information, and they'll be able to download a free ebook version. The whole book is going to be on there. They can get it. And if they want some more information, they can check us out. Like I said, premieredestiny.com, Premiere with an E, destiny.com. And like I said, I mean, the big thing, Rashmai, is that, there's greatness in every one of us. All of us have faced challenges. All of us are going to face challenges. Change, oftentimes, we get scared of change. I used to be, I really used to be. I used to be scared of change, trying new things, get out of comfort zone. But you know what? Somebody said that everything you and I want and everybody else is on the other side of the comfort zone. Huh? It's on the other side of fear. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. Hey, why not get over it? Get around it or get under it or get through it. It's possible.
So what I learned in this conversation is two things. One, you're inspirational. And two, we are both radio heads because we both can talk for like 4 hours straight. But I don't want to open another can of worms, but I have to end it with this thought. And I've been saying this all year. The whole journey of this show. It started in 2017 at a barbershop. Never will I have on my bingo card that it will be this massive. Never will I bet on knowing what will actually happen with the show.
Wow.
That's the power of chasing your dream. And the sole premise is refocus. And I have to say this because I've been saying this in the earlier years. I just want to go back to the old days and kind of keep emphasizing this point I'm about to make. And that is the premise of the show is refocus. That means every single day, as long as you have air in your lungs, you have a chance to refocus on your purpose, on your goals.
Amen.
Because what happens is like a lens. Once it gets blurry, you can't see the subject no more.
100%.
You can't distinguish what's going on. That's what happens.
No, you're right.
We recenter what is important in life. And that's what happens in your life story and what you illustrated to us.
Yes.
You had those refocus.
No, thank you, Brushman. You got to keep your eye on the prize. You got to keep your eye on the prize. I mean, you're right. It's a matter of keeping your eye on the prize, 100%. And this is I'm glad you mentioned the history to the name of your show. That's fantastic, brother. Congrats again. You're doing good work. Keep it going, brother. Because we need voices like yours out there. We do.
Once again, talking to our guest today, Paul Tembunde. Go to his website, premieredestiny.com. Get the books, get the ebook. Stop making excuses. Stop feeling bad for yourself. This is a new day, a new time. If you want to make the shift, start now. Don't wait till later, because later may never come. So on that note, I want to say to you, Paul, thank you for your amazing time on the show with us.